Number 5. Discovery Space Shuttle footage. STS-114, or Discovery Space Shuttle, was the first return-to-flight space shuttle mission following the Space Shuttle Columbia disaster that took place 2 years previously. The crew was in space for nearly a month, and their mission was documented using a system of new and upgraded ground-based radar systems, along with state-of-the-art airborne cameras. The STS-114 mission delivered supplies to the International Space Station. However, the major focus of the mission was testing and evaluating new space shuttle flight safety techniques, which included new inspection and repair techniques. But while up there, the STS-114 external camera caught what appears first to be a piece of space debris, which is not unusual, although it is rather large. But then the object begins to change course in a manner that does not seem natural. Take a look. At the time of the recording, Discovery was northwesterly between Hawaii and California, and despite questioning, NASA has given no explanation. Some say it could be a piece of ice that was moved off course by the space shuttle's thrusters. However, if this was the case, you would think it would be more abrupt and not as smooth as it was. What many point out, and this is with a lot of NASA videos, is that once the unidentified object is found on camera, the footage cuts and a full version cannot be found anywhere. So what's your thoughts about this? Number 4. Alien Home. Now this one is a little far-fetched, but still worth a mention. To explain the relevance of the image, we need to go back to October 19th, 2003, when a man called Oscar Munoz was searching for objects of historical value in a chilling ghost town in the Atacama Desert. While digging near an abandoned church, he uncovered a tiny mummified man wrapped in a white cloth. The remains were about 15 centimeters long and looked similar to a tiny deformed man. Although, unlike a human, it was scaly, dark-colored, had 9 ribs and an odd-shaped head. After examination, it was concluded that the skeleton was a mutation of a male human that possibly lived between 6 and 8 years, and it became known as the Atacama alien. Fast forward to 2016, and this photograph was released. It was taken on Mars by NASA's Curiosity rover, and appears to show a tiny figure by the side of a rock. This discovery has led many to speculate that the Atacama alien has some sort of link to this bizarre image, and wasn't in fact a deformed human that came from space. Another claim was made a few months later when a strange-looking rock photo was released by NASA. This one was again taken on Mars, and appears to show a tiny doorway in a rock. Conspiracy theorists went crazy, saying this was the home of this tiny creature that was apparently captured on Mars a few months previously. I'm not saying there's life on Mars, but this might be a case of pareidolia, which is where your brain tricks you into seeing things like a face or body on items. What do you think? Number 3. STS-115. STS-115 was a space shuttle mission to the International Space Station flown by Space Shuttle Atlantis. It was the first assembly mission to the International Space Station after the Columbia disaster, following the 2 successful return-to-flight missions, STS-114 and STS-121. Despite several attempts due to weather and technical issues, the launch was a success, and the shuttle carried out various duties on the International Space Station and returned to Earth a few weeks later. Shortly after, NASA released details of the mission along with camera footage and images. One particular image got people talking. It was taken on a digital still camera by astronaut Daniel Burbank, and NASA has never given an explanation for it. Even on their website, it says unidentified possible small debris. A few people have said that it could be an image blur, where Daniel has taken a picture of a star using a long shutter speed, and the movement of the spacecraft has caused it to look like that. But would you think that NASA would at least say this on their website? Does this mean it's of alien origin or some kind of space jellyfish like some have suggested? Definitely not, but it's cool and interesting to discuss what it could be. Number 2. UFO enters Earth. This piece of footage is very new and has had conspiracy theorists talking since it happened. It took place on the 9th of July 2016 during a live feed to the International Space Station when an unidentified object was seen dropping to Earth by those watching. But then NASA cut the video feed almost immediately after. Unfortunately, the video is not good quality, but it's the best I could find. Take a look. Now this isn't the first time it has happened, and it's suggested this time it could have been a meteor or even the missing Chinese space cargo ship. So why did NASA cut the feed? Maybe they didn't want everyone seeing this object, which is still unidentified. Last year, a similar thing happened and NASA gave this statement. NASA never intentionally shut down the live feed to hide UFOs. Loss of video is usually due to loss of signal by the ISS. It's perfectly reasonable, but it's also strange how this has happened many times as soon as something mysterious is seen. What do you think? Number 1. STS-48. This footage is the oldest video on the list and has been causing controversy and speculation for years. It was captured by NASA in 1991 during the STS-48 mission that was launched from the Kennedy Space Station on September the 12th with a crew of 5 astronauts. Its mission was to conduct experiments and deploy a number of satellites after completing 81 orbits of Earth. It returned home a few days later. When it returned, a piece of footage was released that was captured 3 days into the mission, but shows multiple bright UFOs darting around. In what looks like intelligently controlled manner abruptly changing direction and racing off at great speed. NASA was immediately questioned and explained the anomalies as ice particles that were disrupted by the shuttle's thrusters. But many respected scientists disagree, and it's been suggested they could very well be extraterrestrial crafts. As always, there are other theories including ice particles on the camera lens, meteors, space junk, or satellites. Although most of these theories have been rejected by experts, who say that it's difficult to dismiss the possibility that they could be of alien origin because of the way they are moving. After all the remaining top-ranking scientists who say there is a ton of evidence suggesting that we are and we have been visited for a number of years by extraterrestrial life. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please let me know by clicking the like button. Do share, write a comment, and don't forget to subscribe so you can catch up on my next video.